That dress sure had me fooled. For a minute, I thought you was getting to be a lady. It's going to be a pleasure to give you a lesson in marksmanship.
You couldn't give me a lesson in long-distance spitting. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I can shoot a partridge with a single cartridge.
I can get a sparrow with a bow and arrow.
I can live on bread and cheese.
And only on that?
Yes.
So can a rat.
Any note you can reach, I can go higher.
I can...
I'm Gilbert Mundo. I'm a runner. I run cross country and track. And a lot of stereotypes that exist around the sport of track and field and cross country are you have to be super skinny to run. People think that we could eat whatever we want just because we run it off. They think all we do is run and that's the only way to get better, but that's not true. And a lot of people are under the impression that you need to be black to be a fast runner. That's not very true.
Hi, my name is Natalie Luce and I play volleyball. Some stereotypes we face in our sport is that it's not a real sport because we're not running all the time. And in beach volleyball, people think we're just hopping around in our little bikinis and just having a good time in the sun, not being really serious.
My name is Lahela. I play for the softball team here at St. Mary's. Some of the stereotypes in my sport is that softball players are lesbians, and also there's that us girls are bigger girls and more like big boned. People consider softball to be easy because there's not much running, which is clearly not true. And people also say that when we're hitting, it's a lot easier because the ball is so much bigger compared to something like baseball. Another stereotype is that people think it's easier to play just because the pitchers are throwing underhand, and therefore they can't throw as fast as if they were to throw overhand. And people also think that softball players are out of shape, but we also do a lot of conditioning and training for our sport.
Hi, I'm Andre Rawls. I'm on the men's soccer team, and some of the stereotypes that we have is soccer is not a physical sport, and we like to exaggerate injuries and flop on the field. And then we also have stereotypes that the most athletic players on the field were the blacks, and then most technical players would be the Hispanics.
Hi, I'm Jordan Giusti.
I'm Bo Levesque, and we're just going to tell you some of the stereotypes that exist in basketball. And one of the main ones that you guys all see in the media is that black players are way more athletic than white players.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a lot of commercials where people just strap on their shoes and hit the trails and start running. And I think that gives a lot of people the idea that just by putting on running shoes and running, you can be a cross-country and track elite runner. And it's not that easy. It's not true.
I think the media definitely does enhance the stereotypes because in commercials they sexualize women, especially in beach volleyball, when they have commercials of girls playing with their hair down and with makeup, and just it's not even a sport, it's more just sex.
I don't think the media encourages these stereotypes. It's more hearing these topics being spoken upon like student bodies in college, and also people who don't even know anything or play softball. They kind of assume these stereotypes, and that's what makes people believe that these stereotypes are actually true.
For the most part, I don't think that the media is a big contributor to the stereotypes. However, there are some players that are of like the Hispanic race and such that are most likely some of the best players. So the portrayal of them constantly is definitely part of the stereotype.
Yeah, the media for sure promotes these stereotypes because when you look at ads for the NBA, you always see Kobe Bryant or LeBron James. All the best players are primarily black, but I think that's because they actually are the best ones. It's not bad.
When you look into the Olympic races and all the championship races, it's always Africans that are winning them. Like, they seem pretty unstoppable, so there's a lot of times as a runner where I'm trying to motivate myself, but it doesn't even seem worth it because no matter what, it's always Africans crossing the line first.
The media puts images that people start thinking that are true because one time at a baseball game, a guy asked me, "Oh, you play volleyball? You post run around in your little bikini bottoms?"
Because I play softball, I don't think that if I hear these stereotypes enough that I will come to believe it. But I feel for others who don't know the sport of softball, or even for other sports who don't have knowledge of the sport, that they will eventually begin to believe these stereotypes because that's the only thing that they will know.
Do that. All right. I feel like if somebody who doesn't really watch the sport enough sees or hears about a bunch of like diving and exaggerations, then they will start to believe these stereotypes of kind of like the non-physical, almost like wimpy aspect of the sport. And then also if they find or hear that like some player is very good and he's from Mexico or like Spain or something, then they might start to believe that all other players from there are good as well.
I feel like because we play this sport, we know that there is some truth to it, but it's not necessarily the case. But I feel like when for someone who doesn't really know anything about basketball, they just see that, and that's their only view of basketball. So I feel like it does play a big role.
There's been a couple times where I'm joking around with a friend who's a lot bigger, and I kind of ask, how do I get bigger? Like, I want to be bigger. And when I was being told that I need to eat tons and lift tons of heavy weights, I kind of realized I can't really do that. As a runner, I'm kind of lean, and that's what you have to be. People always say it, but it's true.
There has been times when I've confirmed the stereotype. I've jokingly said, "Come to our volleyball games, we're wearing spandex." Woo.
I don't think I personally confirmed a stereotype, but there are times where I joked around. Maybe during a game, if you don't play, you pretty much say like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be in the dugout. I'm just gonna eat sunflower seeds and just chill today."
All right. So joking around at practice and stuff, there has been times where I've proved the black stereotype as athletic because I'm just doing crazy stunts in the goal and such. And then also on the field, there have been a couple instances where I have seen exaggerating when on a foul just to get the call or to like slow the game down and such. So I will agree with that.
For example, if we call, on our team, we call the white athletes wathletes and the black ones blathletes. So white athletes, if you're athletic and you're white, then we give you that term, but you're not necessarily as athletic as the blathletes.
I noticed that a lot of the athletes were very familiar with the stereotypes of their sport and that they agreed that these stereotypes were kept alive because they were being repeated by their peers or through the media, which is where the theory of redundancy played in. They also admitted to confirming a stereotype by accident or by just joking about it, which is where subjectivity plays in. I too have been subject to some of the stereotypes mentioned before. I play volleyball here, so I've been subject to gender stereotypes even throughout my entire volleyball career, just the sexualization of women in sports. But I'm also half black, half white, and more than a few times I've been told, "Oh, you must be good at sports because you're black," or, you must jump really high or run really fast. And I guess I do jump pretty high for my height in my sport, but people assume it's because I'm black, not just athletic. The times that I have confirmed these stereotypes would be when people say these things to me or around me, and I don't necessarily deny them or say that it's not true. And in that moment, I am confirming the stereotype because it is an uncomfortable situation. You're not necessarily sure what to say, if you're supposed to be, no, you're so wrong, or, what else? I mean, what else would you say in that situation? And I think that's why other athletes feel uncomfortable when they're faced with situations where their stereotypes are confirmed or where they're made aware of it, which is why in the interviews most of them said, yeah, I've confirmed it by just joking around. It relates because stereotypes are highly redundant. They are ideas that are widely known and repeated and believed, truly believed by people. And it relates to subjectivity because we're all out here confirming them, not denying them.